Did you know that physicians can immediately identify serious health concerns simply by observing certain hygiene mistakes in their elderly patients? These apparently harmless habits could be quietly indicating dangerous conditions developing in your body at this very moment, silently progressing without any obvious symptoms until they reach critical stages. What's truly alarming is that most older adults are completely unaware they're making these crucial errors every day, believing their lifelong routines are perfectly adequate or that certain changes are simply an inevitable part of aging. In the following minutes, I'll disclose the 7 personal hygiene mistakes that doctors promptly recognize in their senior patients, and how correcting them could potentially save your life or the life of a loved one before it's too late. The knowledge I'm about to share isn't taught in educational institutions, is seldom discussed during medical consultations, and is rarely mentioned in health publications. Yet it could mean the difference between enjoying your retirement years in good health or suffering from avoidable conditions that steal your independence and self-respect. Many seniors believe they're following proper hygiene practices because they've established routines over decades, never realizing that our body's needs change significantly as we age. Our skin becomes thinner and more vulnerable. Our immune systems weaken and our sensory perception diminishes, all factors that require adjustments to personal care that most people simply aren't aware of. Medical professionals can spot these oversights immediately, often within moments of a patient entering their office, but many hesitate to bring up these sensitive topics during brief appointments already crowded with other health concerns. What's particularly concerning is how these seemingly minor hygiene oversights can rapidly escalate into serious medical emergencies for older adults. A small skin irritation that a younger person might easily overcome can develop into a dangerous infection in seniors. Poor oral hygiene practices that caused minimal issues in youth can trigger systemic inflammation affecting vital organs in older individuals. The body's natural defense mechanisms that once compensated for occasional lapses in personal care become less effective with age, making consistent hygiene practices absolutely essential, not optional. Researchers at the National Institute on Aging have documented how proper hygiene practices correlate directly with reduced hospitalization rates and extended lifespans among the elderly population. Their longitudinal studies following thousands of seniors over 2 decades revealed that those maintaining proper hygiene protocols experienced 47% fewer emergency hospital admissions and enjoyed an average of 7.3 additional healthy years compared to peers with suboptimal personal care routines. These statistics aren't merely academic. They represent real people enjoying more time with grandchildren, pursuing hobbies and maintaining their dignity and independence well into their golden years. Yet despite this compelling evidence, discussions about proper hygiene practices for seniors remain surprisingly absent from most health education programs. Medical schools dedicate minimal curriculum time to geriatric-specific hygiene needs, leaving many healthcare providers underprepared to offer guidance in this critical area. Senior centers and retirement communities rarely feature workshops on adapting personal care routines as we age, focusing instead on more traditional health topics like medication management or fall prevention. This widespread knowledge gap leaves millions of older adults vulnerable to preventable conditions that significantly diminish their quality of life and place enormous burdens on healthcare systems nationwide. The information I'm about to share comes from extensive interviews with geriatric specialists, dermatologists, dentists, and other medical professionals who specialize in senior health. These experts have shared insights gained from decades of clinical practice, observations made across thousands of patient interactions that reveal patterns most people never recognize in themselves or their aging loved ones. Their collective wisdom forms a comprehensive guide to proper hygiene practices, specifically tailored to the unique physiological changes that accompany aging. By implementing these evidence-based recommendations, you'll not only reduce your risk of serious illness, but also enhance your overall well-being and maintain your independence for years to come. Dermatologists from the Mayo Clinic warned that reduced bathing frequency in seniors often masks early signs of diabetes, liver problems, and cardiac issues. Their clinical studies reveal that nearly 40% of undiagnosed medical conditions in elderly patients could have been caught earlier through proper skin observation. This startling statistic highlights a critical oversight in senior healthcare that few medical professionals discuss openly with their patients. The skin, being our largest organ, continuously displays subtle indicators of internal health that trained physicians can recognize instantly, provided they can actually see these changes during regular examinations. Unfortunately, infrequent bathing can obscure these vital signs beneath layers of dead skin cells, environmental residue, and natural body oils that accumulate over time, essentially concealing what might otherwise serve as early warning systems for potentially life-threatening conditions. Consider what happened to Clarence, a 77-year-old retired postal worker from Michigan. Clarence thought bathing once a week was sufficient, especially during winter months when his skin felt dry. "I didn't want to dry out my skin," he explained. But when his physician noted unusual skin discoloration during an appointment for an unrelated matter, further testing revealed early-stage kidney disease. The discoloration wasn't due to poor hygiene itself. Rather, the infrequent bathing had hidden a critical symptom that could have been spotted weeks earlier, potentially allowing for earlier intervention and significantly improved treatment outcomes. Clarence's experience isn't unusual. Geriatric specialists report similar cases with alarming frequency across the country, where treatable conditions progress unnecessarily simply because subtle skin changes go unnoticed beneath inadequate hygiene practices. Research conducted at the University of Michigan's Department of Dermatology has documented how the aging skin becomes an increasingly sensitive barometer of internal health conditions. Their longitudinal studies tracking skin changes in seniors found that subtle alterations in skin coloration, texture, elasticity, and moisture levels frequently precede traditional diagnostic markers for numerous age-related diseases by an average of 3 to 6 months. This critical window represents invaluable time for medical intervention that many seniors inadvertently forfeit through improper bathing habits. Particularly concerning are the early indicators of circulatory problems, hormonal imbalances, and kidney dysfunction, all conditions where early detection dramatically improves prognosis, yet whose initial symptoms often manifest primarily through skin changes. What's the solution? Establish a regular bathing schedule, at least 3 times weekly, even if you're not particularly active or live in colder climates. Use mild, fragrance-free soap that won't strip your skin's natural oils, focusing particular attention on areas where sweat and bacteria accumulate: underarms, groin, beneath the breasts, and between skin folds. After bathing, apply moisturizer while your skin is still slightly damp to lock in hydration, preferably using products formulated specifically for mature skin containing ceramides, hyaluronic acid, or glycerin that help maintain the skin's protective barrier function without clogging pores or creating an environment conducive to bacterial growth. For seniors with mobility challenges that make traditional bathing difficult, adaptive equipment like shower chairs, handheld shower heads, and grip bars can make the difference between maintaining proper hygiene and risking serious health complications. Medicare and many supplemental insurance plans now cover these assistive devices when prescribed by a physician, a fact surprisingly few seniors know, despite their critical importance to maintaining independence and health. Professional caregivers and occupational therapists can provide personalized recommendations for adapting bathing routines to accommodate physical limitations while still ensuring thorough cleansing. And most importantly, regularly examine your skin for unusual changes in color, texture, or sensation, ideally in natural lighting where subtle variations are more apparent. Are you noticing dry, flaky patches, unusual discoloration, areas that itch persistently, wounds that heal unusually slowly? These could be your body's way of alerting you to something much more serious happening internally, from nutritional deficiencies to immune dysfunction to early-stage cancer. Document these changes with photographs if possible, noting when they first appeared and whether they're spreading or changing over time. This documentation provides invaluable information for healthcare providers and significantly improves diagnostic accuracy. Remember that proper skincare becomes increasingly critical as we age because our skin's regenerative capacity diminishes significantly. What might have been a minor issue in your 50s can become a serious health concern in your 70s and beyond. Don't wait another day to address these warning signs or establish proper bathing habits. Your skin is quite literally trying to tell you something important about your health. Something that could make the difference between enjoying your golden years in health or facing preventable suffering and diminished independence. Douglas was too embarrassed to mention his occasional leakage to his doctor. He used paper towels and changed his clothes frequently, thinking he was managing the problem. When he finally sought help after developing painful sores, doctors discovered an advanced prostate condition that could have been treated months earlier with much better outcomes. "My pride nearly cost me my life," Douglas admitted. "I wish I had talked to my doctor at the first sign of a problem instead of trying to hide it." This heartbreaking experience highlights a dangerous pattern among seniors who often prioritize their dignity over their health, not realizing that these conditions are not only treatable but exceedingly common among their peers. Medical professionals report that this reluctance to discuss incontinence issues represents one of the most significant barriers to early detection of serious underlying conditions in elderly patients. What should you do if you're experiencing any form of incontinence? First, never be embarrassed to discuss bladder issues with your doctor. They see this every single day and understand that these conditions affect millions of Americans across all demographics. Medical professionals are trained to address these concerns with sensitivity and discretion, focusing on solutions rather than judgment. Use proper absorbent products designed specifically for incontinence rather than makeshift solutions like paper towels, tissues, or regular sanitary products, which can actually worsen skin irritation and increase the risk of infection. Modern incontinence products are discreet, highly effective, and specifically engineered to maintain skin integrity while controlling odor, advancements that many seniors remain unaware of while struggling with inadequate alternatives. Change promptly when wet, and follow a proper cleansing routine to prevent skin breakdown, which occurs rapidly when sensitive skin is exposed to moisture and irritants. This involves gentle cleansing with pH-balanced products, specifically formulated for incontinence care, thorough but gentle drying, and application of protective barriers to vulnerable areas. These steps might seem excessive, but research from wound care specialists demonstrates that implementing a proper incontinence hygiene protocol reduces skin complications by over 70% and significantly decreases associated infections that can quickly become systemic in older adults with compromised immune function. Most importantly, recognize that incontinence is not a normal part of aging. It's often a symptom that something needs medical attention. While certain age-related changes may contribute to bladder control issues, true incontinence typically signals an underlying condition requiring evaluation. These range from easily treatable urinary tract infections to medication side effects to pelvic floor disorders to more serious conditions like prostate enlargement, neurological disorders, or malignancies. Identifying and addressing the root cause not only improves continence but potentially identifies serious health threats before they progress to dangerous levels. Geriatric urologists at Johns Hopkins have documented numerous cases where timely reporting of incontinence symptoms led to early detection of prostate and bladder cancers when they were still highly treatable, compared to patients who delayed reporting these symptoms and consequently faced more invasive treatments with lower success rates. Their longitudinal studies tracking thousands of senior patients demonstrated that those who promptly reported incontinence symptoms and received appropriate management had significantly higher 5-year survival rates for related cancers than those who delayed seeking treatment. Are you experiencing occasional leakage? Finding yourself planning outings around bathroom availability, using makeshift protection? Have you noticed changes in urination patterns, including frequency, urgency, or discomfort? These symptoms deserve professional evaluation, not silent endurance or improvised solutions. Contemporary treatment options range from simple exercises and lifestyle modifications to minimally invasive procedures that can dramatically improve quality of life and independence. Don't wait another day to speak with your doctor about these symptoms. Your health and possibly your life may depend on it. Remember that modern medicine offers numerous effective solutions for incontinence, but only if healthcare providers know you're experiencing it. Breaking this silence could literally save your life, just as it could have for Douglas had he sought help sooner, he admitted. But when his doctor noticed them during a routine exam, he immediately ordered diabetes testing, catching the disease in its early stages when lifestyle changes could still make a significant difference. If my doctor hadn't checked my feet, I might have gone years without knowing I had diabetes, Raymond told me. By then, the damage would have been severe. Raymond's experience illustrates a frightening reality that podiatric specialists encounter regularly. The feet often reveal critical health conditions long before traditional symptoms appear, yet most seniors pay remarkably little attention to this vital area of their bodies. This oversight represents one of the most dangerous yet easily correctable hygiene mistakes that medical professionals observe in their elderly patients. Research from the National Institutes of Health has demonstrated that the feet serve as an exceptional early warning system for numerous age-related conditions, particularly those affecting circulation and nerve function. Their comprehensive studies tracking thousands of seniors over 15 years revealed that in approximately 65% of cases, visible changes to the feet preceded other detectable symptoms of diabetes by an average of 14 months. A critical window for intervention that could potentially prevent serious complications, including neuropathy, infection, and ultimately amputation. Despite this well-documented connection, podiatric care remains one of the most neglected aspects of senior healthcare, with surveys indicating that fewer than 20% of adults over 65 conduct regular foot inspections or seek professional foot care unless experiencing significant pain or obvious injury. What should you do starting today? Wash and thoroughly dry your feet daily, especially between the toes where fungus loves to grow and can create entry points for dangerous bacteria. Use lukewarm water rather than hot, which can damage delicate skin that's already lost elasticity and natural oils with age. Mild soap without harsh fragrances or chemicals prevents further drying, while thorough drying, particularly between toes, creates an inhospitable environment for fungal growth that can lead to infections. These infections are particularly dangerous for seniors with compromised immune systems or circulatory issues, as they can quickly progress from minor irritations to systemic problems requiring hospitalization. Inspect your feet regularly for cuts, sores, or changes in color or temperature, ideally using a mirror or magnifying glass to examine areas difficult to see. Research from geriatric specialists at Stanford University Medical Center indicates that seniors who perform daily foot inspections experience 82% fewer serious foot complications compared to those who examine their feet only when problems arise. This simple daily routine, taking less than 2 minutes, represents one of the highest impact preventative measures available to older adults, yet remains dramatically underutilized in the senior population. Wear clean, dry socks made of natural fibers or moisture-wicking materials that reduce the likelihood of fungal growth and skin maceration. Change socks daily or more frequently if you notice any moisture accumulation. The difference between synthetic and natural fiber socks isn't merely a matter of comfort. Podiatric research demonstrates that appropriate sock selection can reduce fungal infection rates by nearly 60% in vulnerable populations like diabetics and seniors with peripheral vascular disease. This simple choice, multiplied across thousands of hours annually, significantly impacts tissue integrity and resistance to infection. Apply moisturizer to dry areas, but not between the toes where additional moisture can promote fungal growth. Look specifically for products containing urea or lactic acid, which geriatric dermatologists recommend for aging skin, as these ingredients help retain moisture while gently exfoliating dead skin cells that can mask early warning signs of underlying conditions. The balance between proper hydration and excess moisture represents a critical distinction in senior foot care, one that many fail to recognize until problems develop. Cracked heels and excessive dryness aren't merely cosmetic concerns. They create potential entry points for infection in individuals already at higher risk due to age-related immune changes. And never ignore pain, numbness, or wounds that don't heal. See a medical professional immediately. The diminished pain sensation that many seniors experience due to age-related nerve changes creates a dangerous scenario where serious injuries or infections progress unnoticed. Geriatric specialists consistently report cases where seemingly minor foot issues rapidly escalated to life-threatening situations because warning signals went unrecognized or ignored. The common notion that foot pain is simply an inevitable part of aging represents a dangerous misconception that podiatrists and geriatricians work continuously to correct in their elderly patients. Research conducted at major medical centers specializing in diabetic foot care has demonstrated that multidisciplinary approaches, combining regular professional evaluation with proper home care, can reduce amputation rates by an astonishing 85% in high-risk populations. These findings underscore the critical importance of both professional oversight and daily personal attention to foot health, particularly as we age and natural protective mechanisms diminish. Consider this statistic carefully. 85% of diabetes-related amputations, potentially preventable through proper foot care, represents thousands of seniors annually who could maintain their mobility, independence, and quality of life through simple preventative measures. Are your feet dry and cracked? Notice any cuts that aren't healing properly, any unusual discoloration or loss of feeling. These aren't just cosmetic issues or normal aging processes. They could be early warning signs of serious conditions that need immediate attention, from peripheral vascular disease to diabetes to neurological disorders. The feet's extensive network of blood vessels and nerve endings makes them particularly sensitive indicators of systemic health, essentially serving as an early alert system that physicians immediately check when evaluating elderly patients. Ignoring these signals doesn't merely risk foot health. It potentially allows serious conditions to progress undetected throughout your body. Remember that as we age, our body's natural healing abilities diminish significantly, transforming what might have been minor issues in youth into potentially serious complications in our senior years. This biological reality makes proper foot hygiene not merely advisable, but essential for maintaining overall health and independence. The modest time investment required for proper foot care yields extraordinary returns in terms of mobility preservation, infection prevention, and early detection of potentially life-threatening conditions. Don't allow embarrassment, inconvenience, or the mistaken belief that foot problems are simply inevitable parts of aging to prevent you from implementing these critical care practices today.